running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
Step up to that microphone there, people, so people can hear you, Kevin. I got to talk to you because this Kevin here is he's involved in something that at one time was dying. It was a lost art, the high performance end of the automotive business. Kevin, what made you get into the high performance? Because right now it's on a comeback. Right now it's flourishing.
Well,
How'd you get started?
Well, my dad and my uncle were both into it and things like that, so I got into it at an early age, and then I went to school, to college and everything, to become some human resource manager and stuff like that. And when I came out of school, jobs weren't there, and I worked for A-Team Speed Shop picking up parts and stuff like that, and they happened to get parts over here at VSI, and I walked in there and they asked me if I wanted a job. So I went in there and I applied for the job, and I undercut myself because there wasn't a whole lot of opportunities out there. And Fred asked me, well, what do you think you got to make? Well, instead of keeping my mouth shut and see what they offered me, I said, well, as long as I make like $23,000, I'm good because I live close and everything like that. And he's like, okay, you're hired. So I worked in a warehouse for a little while, and then I became a salesman. And within like 2 years, I pretty much dominated sales there. And I moved up after doing sales for a while. I was the pricing manager. I did all that, and I was pretty good at that and things like that. And they got taken over by another company. Fred sold out with the death of Jimmy and stuff like that. He just didn't have the heart.
I know. Jimmy was originally on this show 9 years ago. Jimmy was my partner.
Oh, yeah?
On this show. Jimmy was a great man. Great guy.
Jimmy was a really good guy.
Knew his parts.
So Fred, kind of lost interest in it, and they sold out to a company called Meyer, and I just didn't see eye to eye with them. And we had started this company in the background because originally Fred was supposed to sell it to Motor State, and Motor State was just going to shut it down. They weren't even going to keep it open. So at least that was the rumor. So we went in and we got this building and stuff like that. I had 2 other partners at the time, and we just figured, well, I've been doing this for 18 years. The parts part of it, I know the parts part of it pretty good. And when it comes to race cars, I can work on race cars. I really can't work on regular cars too much, but I can work on race cars and things like that. But
like I said, it's a lost art. It really is.
So, we got involved, got the building and everything like that. And as it went along, we both had different ideas about things. So we split up, and I became sole owner of Monster. And, it's gone from there. I mean, we've been growing every year. This year was a little rough with some things and stuff like that. Like my main guy in the back, unfortunately, his dad passed away. So that kind of took its toll on us a little bit for a little while to just get back in a swing of things.
Yeah, I know how that works. I've been in business for 35 years, and it's you gotta flow with the tide. It's not easy sometimes.
So, but and we're getting bigger. We now have a chassis dyno. Like I said, I think that's going to be a huge thing for us because we do anything mechanically. I mean, we do rear ends, we do engines, we do racing transmissions. We don't really mess with OEM type transmissions, but your turbo 400s, your turbo 350s, your glides, that type of stuff. We do those. And we do anything electrical, and we sell parts. And I'm not sure a lot of people know that just yet. But if you're looking for a different place, you feel like you haven't been treated right in the other places, come see us.
That's something that is very important right now because these places are few and far between. People ask me all the time about high performance parts, and the only place I ever knew was in Lansing. Of course, they're gone from Lansing; they're somewhere else now. Was White's Pit Stop. Van Stennis doesn't do it anymore, I don't think.
I'm not sure. I've heard,
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah.
And now that I found you, this is a whole different ballgame. 10 years ago, high performance was and hot rods and stuff were just kind of going away.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of, and as a matter of fact, it took its toll on Blue Top, my favorite drive-in, because there just wasn't anybody doing this. Guys that had their cars, they had them in the garage. They were just letting them sit. Nobody was into it anymore. The last couple 3 years have been a boom to the high performance industry.
I
and
think
they need to find you. You need to get out there and let them know where you're at.
Well, I'm trying.
Monster Performance Center is in Creek. Give us the address.
It's 1762 South Dixie Highway, Crete, Illinois, 60417.
South Dixie Highway's got to be easy enough to find.
Yeah, it's just
main
south
drag.
of main town, yeah.
And the phone number. Give us a phone number.
It's 708-279-7271.
All right, now I'm going to put a challenge out there to some of my buddies, my gearheads from Blue Top. You guys got to get out to this dyno and get dynoed. I want to know what kind of horsepower you're pushing. You buy these engines, these crate engines and stuff, and they're nice, but are they putting out the horsepower they're supposed to? Are they getting it to the rear wheels? I think we need to find out. You need to get out and see Kevin at Monster Performance and put it on a dyno. It's not expensive. What is it? What's the dyno cost?
If you just want to know your horsepower numbers, it's 3 pulls with the printout for $125.
$125. You got $50,000 in a car. $125 is nothing. Get out there and let's get the horsepower read on that baby. I want to know what you're punching at the rear tires. I think that's going to be a key. Okay, Fireman Kevin, fire away.
Hey George, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I'm just Kevin. I'm just rebuilding a 1949 Studebaker Commander 6, and we did some old school hot rodding on it. We did a cam, we did shave the heads, up the ignition, up the intake on it, and I'd like to get it on a dyno just to see how much farther above factory performance that I got this engine. The only problem I have is it's a dually rear axle truck.
Oh my.
Oh, okay.
Will that fit?
It depends on the
Well,
wheelbase.
that's it. Well, either that or I'm guessing I could probably just bring it in take the second tire off, just bring it in on singles on the back.
But
like
I mean,
you're
what
hauling a
wheelbase
load.
is it though? That's the only problem. Like a crew cab dually.
No, front to rear, it's, I got a 12-foot flatbed on the back of it, so I think it's 124 wheelbase on it.
I would think that would fit because I mean.
Yeah, it's just a little long. I mean, wheelbase is just a
19, I think.
Yeah, well, all right. If that's then we'll go a little further, maybe 144 tops.
Okay. I'd have to measure it and stuff like that. Why don't you give me a call at the shop and I'll measure how much distance we got, and we'll see if we can't get that on there.
Yeah, I want to get it broken. I figure maybe come out in the spring with it. I want to get the engine broken in, tuned up, and a little more reliable. And then once I'm sure I can pound on it a little bit, bring it out there and see what you can do.
Okay, cool.
See if I got more than 102 horsepower. That factory was a little.
Yeah, that was factory on that car.
All right, thanks, fellas. I'll look for you in the spring.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for calling, buddy. Oh, my goodness. We're lighting them up here. We're going to have to take a quick break. Then we'll get back with Kevin Moore from Monster Performance. We're talking about the performance the whole performance industry making a comeback, Kevin. Mm-hmm. And, of course, that's all you've ever done.
Pretty
so
much,
it's in your blood, too.
Right.
And you've been through the thin times. You've been through the lean times. And now it should be getting a lot better.
Well, I mean, especially with manufacturers making cars that make 600 horsepower or more nowadays and stuff like that. I think that's a lot of the resurgence is you can go buy a 700 horsepower car you can drive every day, and they still want more.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a guy who's in Tennessee who's got a Hellcat, and he says, well, he goes, I'm going to let the warranty run out a little bit. And he goes, and then I think I'm going to try to make it make 900 horsepower. So,
oh my,
he's like, it's crazy.
Going to need a little more turbo. You better get him in there and start selling him some parts, because you know what? It's a fun hobby, and you're there to help out and take advantage of it, of course, and make your living doing it.
Right.
And the performance industry is back. Trust me. Anybody that's been to Blue Top or just the car shows around town are more and more popular. The cruise nights, everybody's got a cruise night. And of course, every night's a cruise night at Blue Top, for gosh sakes. And that's just it's radical. It's just so much fun. I just love it. I told you, I actually saw a kid put his phone down to go look at a car. You don't see that happen very often. I mean, my granddaughter can fold laundry with a phone in her hand. I don't know how she does it, but she does it. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, the performance industry is making a comeback. And if you got questions about performance, if you've got parts that you need, you can call Kevin Moore at Monster Performance. Kevin, give us the phone number again.
708-279-7271.
7271, easy enough to figure out. 279-7271. 708 for, that's Illinois, because he's in Crete.
Yeah, I'm just right across the border, not very
right
far.
Across the border. He's 20. He's about 10 minutes from here. Not even that. I mean, it's just right down the street. I go out to Crete all the time.